Do I know what it is? No. If I don't know what it is, I probably don't need it. Hello everyone, welcome back to Lefty's Fabrication. Today we're working yet again on our 2012 Dodge Avenger race car build. I'm very excited, we've got a lot of work to do today. What are we working on? I don't know, probably roll cage. And then some other stuff. Anyway, this is episode 3. I don't know what to call it, but we're gonna work on the car. Okay, yeah. Okay, the first thing I think we're gonna do today is put in the support legs for our main hoop here. Keep it from, wobbling around. Make sure it doesn't fold if I roll this thing over, because there's definitely a chance. Because no one ever rolls over in trash car. Not ever. Anyway, so I think where we're gonna go with this is I'm gonna start up here at the top of the main hoop and come down to where these two bolts are. These held down the bottom of the back seat, and I think that'd be a nice sturdy place to bolt a base plate to, and then just run the legs up here onto the main hoop itself. I would rather put them, clear back here, but I can't. So I think right here is a good spot. And the reason I'm not wanting to weld the base plates down is right underneath this black plastic thing, that's where the gas tank is. So, yeah, I don't think getting the sheet metal hot would be the greatest idea. I've already started this car on fire once. But only once! That's actually pretty good for me. Alright, I've got the base plates put in for those support bars. And now I need to measure for the support bars. The crappy thing is that I don't have all the tools I really need, so I'm kind of having to go off of what I have. I'm not particularly good at math. Can add. Not really subtract, but I can add. So this is what I've come up with. It's just a string line up over the main hoop with a weight on it to keep it tight. And this little chunk of pipe, I've marked center in 2 directions so I can put it exactly where I want. And then when I've got that figured out, I can mark where the outside of the pipe is going to be, and then I can use the string line to get my angles. So put the piece of pipe right here. Bam! So I'll mark where the outside of the pipe is going to be, and then I take my handy dandy angle finder, because I can't find my digital one anywhere. 9 degrees. That's what I need to cut it at. But now I have the center of my pipe, the outside of my pipe. I know my angle. I need to measure still the angle that I have to make my fish mouth at up here, or my cope, if you want to get technical. So I know what angle to cope my pipe at and what angle to cut it at down here. Does that make sense? Am I stupid? Got the braces in, and oh, don't they look pretty? Alright, now we need to do the bar. It goes from here to here. And I'm just gonna go right below the bend. What's 50 and 13/16 plus 3 1/8? Looks almost professional if you don't look at it too close. It is now time to consult the magical list of things to do on this car, Cardboard Edition. And on the magical list of things to do, Cardboard Edition, there are 20-ish tasks that need to be completed so this car can be race ready. Now, I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but I'm going to do a quick overview. We need to relocate the battery, remove some of the AC components because, let's face it, I don't need it anymore. I don't have any glass. So why have AC? Plus, the knobs and the dash and such don't really exist anymore. They're in a landfill somewhere. Need new tires and wheels. Basically, long and short of it is it has aluminum wheels on it right now. And if you get hit on an aluminum wheel, it's just going to snap. They don't really have much give to them. So it's not worth keeping. I need to get a 5-point harness. That is something that I genuinely feel that I need. I had a 4-point harness last year and it wasn't quite enough for me, so I'm going to do a 5-point this year. I need to weld the doors shut, reinforce the trunk, weld the trunk lid shut. I need to cut an inspection hole in the trunk so that it can be inspected. I need to cut a fire suppression hole in the hood in case the engine decides to go boom and fry me like a piece of bacon. I need to modify the handbrake so I can just pull it without having to push the button, because that'll get annoying. I might also replace that with a hydraulic one. I'm not 100% sure yet. Last year I had a hydraulic one and I really liked it. I need to make a new front bumper. That would probably be a good idea. I need to do the rub rails, what we call the rub rails on the outside of the car. I need to put a plate on the driver's door. And there's just small things like hood pins, putting a piece of sheet metal over the dash, number plate, and then painting it, basically, and then just cleaning up bits and bobs. So, it sounds like a lot, because it is. Yeah. I don't really know where to go from here, so I'm just going to pick something and do it. Alrighty then. Here is our lovely stock battery tray, and this is the stock battery tray location. And I think that's really dumb, because it's right in front of the front tire, right behind the front bumper. And for something like, you know, combat racing, that doesn't really work. So, I'm going to put it inside the car. Okay, I've sat and fiddled with this thing for a while. I think the best place to put it is right here, because there's a dip in the floor right here. On the bottom of the battery tray, it has this little hump right here. So it doesn't sit flat anywhere else on the floor. I wanted to put it here, but it's got a hump here too. So I can't have that. It sits crooked because I'm OCD. And I can't do that because that makes it worse. So I'm thinking that's the best place to put it. To the surprise of absolutely no one, I have changed my mind. So I found this piece of scrap angle iron I had lying around, and I figured I would use the 2 front mounting bolts for the passenger seat. And I was just going to take the battery box and weld it right to that piece of angle. I'll have to cut this hump off the back of the battery box tray thing so that it will sit flat, because right now it's not even close. But once I do that, then I can bolt it to the floor and have it welded to this piece, which is bolted down by the seat mounting bolts. And if it goes somewhere after that, I don't know what to tell you. I feel like that's pretty good. We got the battery box all mounted up and finished here. I think it looks incredibly crappy, but very sturdy, so we'll go with that. I meant to film welding it and bolting it down and stuff, but I forgot. Ever happened to you? It happened to me. So now that that's done, I think what we're going to do is start removing AC stuff. Let's see if we can get as many of these hoses and parts off of here as possible. Try and lighten our load a little bit, get a little more airflow into the radiator. Yeah. Ew. Now what are you? What do you go to? That's nice. You see that? I don't think the airbox is connected anymore. Oh, don't tell me that's the... Apparently the AC condenser and the transmission cooler are the same thing. Yeah, the transmission cooler and the AC condenser are one unit. Well, that's kind of a bummer. It's gonna hurt our airflow a little bit, but it's okay. We'll figure it out later. I'm gonna take this thingamabob off. Do I know what it is? No. If I don't know what it is, I probably don't need it. Ow! God, everything's sharp and broken. What would be the better way to pull this thing out? That would be the way that works, I suppose. I'm really not a fan of what's going on right now. I'm going to cutting this thing off. Questioning life decisions. Ah! Yeah! I'm gonna be honest, that really sucked. I honestly don't even need to do this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna keep doing it. How am I supposed to get my arm in there? I don't know if this is worth it. Wish I could get both hands in there. Oh, I got it! I got it! It's all about the little victories, you know? If any of you guys ever worked on a Dodge Avenger, what did you do with it? You turn it into a race car like me, because that's the best way to do things. If you ever have, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. I haven't even told Joe what kind of engine this one has, by the way. This one's the 3.6 V6 flavor. It smells like strawberries. If I haven't mentioned it before, there are two classes of racing in trash car racing. There's a 4-cylinder class, which is pretty massive. Most people do the 4-cylinder. And then there's the few of us that do 6-cylinder. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a 4-cylinder, alright? Those cars can really move on the short tracks that we have, but I like a little extra oomph. You know, power! Speaking of power, this car supposedly has 120 more horsepower than the Pontiac Grand Prix I was racing last year. So this thing ought to be pretty spicy. Wow. Fell right through the fender. Is that gonna be enough? Get us out of here. No, but yes. Hold on. There we go. Alright. If you can't beat them, find a bigger stick. Alright, now that we've got all the AC stuff off of this car that I care to take off, because I'm not doing any more of it, I think we're going to try and get the stock airbox out and see if we can get this stupid thing off of here. This is just going to get full of mud, and then the engine's going to choke, and it's not going to be good. So, see if I can get it off of here without breaking it. Hey, that was easy. Need a pry bar. And by pry bar, I mean screwdriver. I think we all know what the solution to this problem is. I got it. Yay! Ta-da! Oh, well, hello. Today is a new day. I had to give up the other night because I ran out of memory in my memory card. It's kind of a bummer when that happens, but what do you do? So, it being a new day, I also have new parts. Oh, they finally came in. I'm so excited. Oh, Chinese chrome hood pins. $8 on the Jungle website. Battery cable for battery stuff to do that. And my favorite part, I have received my 5-point harness. You'll love the flavor. It's my favorite flavor. It's green. All right. Okay, here's a quick plan. So this is the original terminal for the battery because it used to sit there, which is really stupid. And I don't need this anymore, but these wires are connected, so I'm gonna have to leave them there. I'm just gonna take the terminal off because there's a nut right there that's super rusty. That's nice. But if you follow this cable, it goes to here. So I'm gonna run my new battery cable from here all the way over here, and then into that hole right there, down into the cab to the battery. It's perfect. It's a foolproof plan. What I think I'm gonna do is after I get this taken off, which is absolutely taking forever. Whee! Okay, now that I have that off, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a piece of shrink wrap, heat shrink. I'm gonna put a piece of heat shrink over that so it can't arc out on anything, and then I'm gonna call it good. Well, I'm lazy. I don't know if that's apparent by now, but I am. So, there we are. Alright, the rest of this process should be pretty simple. Just take my wire and run it loosely up through here. And then I'm gonna shove it down in the hole. Shoving. We're coiled up. We're not going through. It's alright. Hot dang, that's basically NASCAR spec right there. Now I've decided to reuse the original battery terminal because I'm cheap. It was free. So, boink. Let's go like, yes. Put the nut on there. You put the nut on there, and then you tighten it up. You put the nut on there. And you don't look like a butt. I've decided I'm going to reuse the original negative cable off the battery. It had a big plastic sheath, but I just whacked it with a hammer really quick and it broke right off. Now remember, the name of the game here is cheap and easy, because I'm going to wreck this car on purpose over and over and over again. So now I just need to find some place to put this end. Luckily for me, there's a bolt right here. Now, is this bolt important? Probably. But now I'm just going to make it more importanter. Holy crap. You know what this means? We get to cross something off the magical list of things to do to this car. Cardboard edition. Right up here at the top. Relocate battery. Done. Have I confirmed that it works? No. Have I tried to start the car? Absolutely not. But we're moving on. Hey, look. We also get to cross off remove AC, because I'm not going to bother with it anymore. I've done as much as I can. Let's see. What should we do next? It's either handbrake or harness. I'm going to flip a coin. Handbrake it is! I've got the handbrake removed. You can see right here there's these little teeth, and that's what grabs, so you have to, you know, push this button to let it off. You can hear it ratcheting right there. So I either need to figure out how to file down these teeth, or I need to take out the tooth that grabs that from up here. Yeah! Ooh, belly. Woo! Got the handbrake finished up here. I ended up welding this little handle on the end because I didn't like that it was open on one side. It added it a little bit of length too, so you know I get a little more leverage for the breakage. I had to grind off this rivet so that I could get that little piece out, the little locking piece. Then I just welded it. Ah, that's really hot. Yeah, I welded it back together, and literally just now, and it's very hot. But it's ready to go, so I'm gonna put it back in the car, and then I guess we'll move on to something else. My goodness. that works pretty good. That'll be alright. I'm not gonna, you know, ow! I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that during a race, you know. I'll keep a good grip on it. It's still really hot, so that's why I have gloves on. But I wanted to try it out. I feel like that works pretty well. We'll have to test it later. But, you know, last year I had a hydraulic handbrake with a really big old lever on it, so I could really give her the beans, you know? And that worked out really well, other than I had some big problems with it. It kept letting air into the system, so I'd have to bleed it all the time. I might have to go that route again if this doesn't work out. At some point we'll test it out. We're gonna have to, right? Now that we've got the handbrake installed and working supposedly just fine, I think it's time to install the harness. We're finally whittling down all the things that we need to do inside the car before we can weld all the doors shut, because I am not climbing in and out of this thing more than I have to with the doors welded shut. The Dukes of Hazzard made it look like fun, but it is not. I just have to show really quickly how proud I am that I get to cross something off the magical list of things to do on this car, cardboard edition. And where is it? Right there! We are making progress. The harness is done. Next thing we're going to work on is hood pins, because why not? Sounds like fun. For anyone out there who is wondering, should I get hood pins for my car? The answer is yes. And also, the suggestion I would make was get the pointy ones. You see that? Is it going to show up? Get the pointy ones! And I'll show you exactly why right now. Ah! You see that? Okay, obviously, I don't care about this car at all. I really don't. I'm going to crash it on purpose. That's why I bought it. That's why I'm building it. I mean, I do care to a certain extent. I want it to last as long as possible, because even though this is like the cheapest type of racing that I've ever come across, it's still kind of expensive, and I haven't even spent all that much money yet. There's better ways to do it. You can put a little dab of grease on the end of your hood pin and just like gently let your hood down, and then that little dab of grease will tell you where your hood pins are. But I don't care, so I just give her the old whaa! And then, you know, it screws up the paint, and I know exactly where I need to drill a hole. So, full disclosure, if you care about your car, don't do it that way. And with that, the hood pins are done. Do I care that the hood no longer lines up with the fender? No, not even kind of. I had to lower it a lot to get the hood pins to work, and you know what? The hood stays shut, so that's all I care. I'm really happy with all the progress I've been making. I genuinely am very happy about it, and I'm also really happy that I'm sticking to the YouTube content thing. I absolutely love making these videos for y'all, and if you love the videos just as much as I do, or even like, I don't know, a 64th as much as I do, if you could like, comment, subscribe, whatever tickles your fancy, that would be awesome. And if you don't feel like doing any of that, that is totally okay. I haven't earned it. But, you know, if you feel so inclined, that would be lovely. Let me know what you think of my videos. And you know what? I'm happy no matter what. I'm just excited to be alive. In the next video, we're going to be working on the Avenger, yet again, making some more progress, getting it ready for race day. June 1st is coming up really fast, and we got a lot of work to do. See you next time.